everybody, it's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. I'm going to do a how-to clean your beer line because I'm getting ready to tap my Azacca Centennial IPA, and I'm going to clean the beer line out before I put it on there. So we'll get back here and I'll show that to you here in just a minute. It's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. What I got going on this week is I got my Azacca Centennial keg tapped. I'm actually getting ready to tap it right now. But first I want to put a quick video up about how I clean my beer lines, and so we'll spin this around and show it to you. Basically what I did was I went to, I got this at Lowe's. It's called the Flow Master, and it's basically one of those little vacuum pump deals like you spray weed killer with or something like that, and it's got the coarse threads on it that you can make the post adapter fit onto. So basically you don't have to use CO2 to purge your lines out to clean them. So basically what I got it full of right now is just hot water, and what I'm going to do is flush the line out with hot water, and then after that I'm going to flush it with beer line cleaner. And what I've got is the 5-star beer line cleaner. It's an alkali liquid line cleaner, and it's a little bit stronger than using our PBW to clean it out with if you need to. If you don't have any line cleaner, I'd recommend getting a line cleaner because that's point specific what it's made for. So what it helps does, it helps break down the scale that builds up in your beer lines and puts all flavors in there and so forth. So flush it with the hot water, flush it out real good with the beer line cleaner, let it sit for about 10-15 minutes, then flush it out again with some more hot water, and then I hit it with sanitizer, Star San. And then if you're gonna tap another keg right away, one of the things that the Star San does, it's acid based, so it helps neutralize any residual beer line cleaner that might still be in there, and then flush it out so you don't have any issues with any beer line cleaner still being in there and getting in your first pint of beer or whatever like that. So basically the acid will neutralize the alkali from the beer line cleaner, and then you can leave the Star Sand in there until you're ready to tap your keg, and then just open your tap up until beer starts coming out, pour a pint or two off of it till it's running nice and clear, and then you're ready to just drink on that line, or just leave the Star Sand in there until you're ready to tap the keg, and then that'll keep it clean until you're ready to use it. I cleaned all three of these at one time about a month and a half, 2 months ago, and the kegs will empty out at different times, so I'm just cleaning the beer lines after each keg empties, and that keeps any off flavors from building up in there and so forth. But I'll spin this around here and show you what I got going on as far as cleaning these lines go. So basically, where I've got a tower instead of a collar, so what I want to do is just move everything off the top, and I use a piece of wood that I got wrapped up with aluminum foil for various different things actually, but I'll just set that right there, and then grab the beer line that is on this keg and get it where it's not tangling up on anything. Go ahead and pull that out, so you can see it's still got some discoloring and stuff, and it'll still have some discoloring even after you clean them out once it builds up over time, but the inside will be clean. So you can shut this down so it don't pinch the line, and then basically this middle one, well, no, it's this one, is going to be the one that's getting cleaned. So you can just set this up here, move that around there, and then basically what you want to do is hook your disconnect on the end of this, so you got some hot water going through the line here. Try to do this with one hand. Okay, and then basically I'm going to sit you down over here So if you can see what's going on, looks like, and then you just pump it up to where you got some. There we go. That's pretty good. Spin it around just a little bit more this way. So you just pump until you start building some pressure. About 15-20 times. And then just you can see the junk that was in the line, the old beer. And then as you pump it, you'll see it start building some pressure. It's never going to come out like it is under gas. But basically what you want to do is you just want to flush the line out. And then with the hot water, you work it back and forth. So you get any gunk off of the seal in there. And you can see the line is already fairly clear. These beer lines are about, not quite a year old, or a little over a year old. I guess getting close to 2 years old, I'd say. I don't know exactly when I did this, but basically what you want to do is just keep pumping this thing, flushing it out, work it a little bit. And you can feel the faucet's getting hot here. Alright, it just I'm going to purge the line out now, full of air. Now basically what I'm going to do is fill my reservoir full of beer line cleaner and do the same thing and get it running through, and then just let it sit for 15 minutes so it will have time to soak in the beer line, and then flush it out again, hit it again with some warm water, and then hit it with Star Sand. So I'll be back when I got this thing set up and show you some beer line cleaner. Alright, we're back, and you can see I've got my reservoir filled up to about right there. It doesn't take a whole lot because I'm only going to be doing this one line. So got that screwed on there. Give it a couple of 10 or 20 pumps. And I had mixed up enough beer line cleaner, like a gallon, before, and I had a bunch of it left over from the last time I'd cleaned these. Okay, we'll work that a little bit, build a little more pressure here, so I get some more flow coming out, so it fills the line up good, so I get complete coating inside. Alright, you can see it's coming out nice and even there. And kind of do the same thing you did with the water. You want to work it a little bit in the faucet here, so you clean your faucet out on the inside where the seals sit. Alright, got a nice thick stream coming out now. So now I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to let it sit for 15 minutes. And then I'll just run the rest of it through until it empties the reservoir out. And then rinse it out with warm water and then hit it with some Star Sand. So we'll be back after this sit in 15 minutes. Alright, I flushed out the lines after they sit for 15 minutes, and I'm doing it again with water right now. You couldn't see it when it went into this blue thing because it's dark, but my bathroom's right next door, and I went over there and I dumped the beer line cleaner that had flushed out into the toilet, and it was the color of like a Pilsner beer. The line cleaner was. So it did get quite a bit of junk out. I'm doing my second flushing right now, getting the beer line cleaner flushed out with hot water, and now I'm going to do the Star Sand, and then I'll tap the keg here in a minute and we'll show you that. Okay, I refilled the reservoir with Star Sand, and as you can see, the beer line might be a tad bit lighter, but the inside's clean, so that's what matters. And then you can see I've got Star Sand running through it here. And the action on this thing is just nice and smooth now. There's no sticking. You can tell it's nice and clean. And basically you just want to run it through till it runs through real nice like that. Stop it. That way the whole inside of the line's completely coated with Star Sand. Let it sit for 2 minutes as normal, or 5, or just leave it in there if you're not getting ready to tap the keg. And basically at this point I'm just going to leave the Star Sand in this for now in the line. So when I hook onto the keg, it will push out the rest of the Star Sand, and then like another pint or so of the first little bit of beer that comes out, it's always got a bunch of junk and stuff that's settled off the bottom. So there's no air actually in my line once it pushes the beer through. And then once the beer starts coming through and then you pour about the first pint off, then you're good. Your lines are clean, you got fresh lines and fresh beer and everything's purged and clean, and that's pretty much how I do it. So we will come back here in a few minutes and I'll show you what it looks like after I got this thing tapped and got that Azacca Centennial coming out, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Alright, we tapped the keg and I've ran this thing until a little bit of beer is coming out, and then I'm going to go get a pint glass and be right back. Okay, this will be the first pour off of this thing, so I expect it to be a big foamy mess to begin with. On a little head with it. Yeah, it's a nice orange color. Got it. Let's see. And then we will get a look on it. Yep. It's got some particles in the bottom of it. That's to be expected. It's actually cleaner looking than I thought it was going to be. If you can get any kind of nose on this thing. Oh yeah. So I am going to dump this one out. I always dump out the first one, then I'm going to pour me a pint. And I will see you guys next week for the tasting on it. Cheers.